Back to the drawing board, a new plan for a Columbia subdivision still drawing criticism.
It's the busiest highway in mid-Missouri, and big changes are on the way. Find out what that means for your commute.
And Wi-Fi on wheels, a new way for Columbia students to stay connected. KOMU 8 News at 6 starts now.
From Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 6.
Smaller plans, same concern. Controversy swirls around a new proposed subdivision near Rockbridge State Park. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brittany Pieper.
And I'm Jim Rick. Thanks for joining us. The original proposal called for 73 lots in the highlighted area near Rockbridge Park. Instead, it has been scaled back to 57 lots. That's where we're going live, near Providence Road, and that's where we find KOMU 8's Jasmine Bailey live with reaction. Jasmine.
I'm standing near Providence Road, about 2,000 feet from Old Highway 63. Jasmine Bailey, KOMU 8 News.
Columbia police say a 19-year-old woman fell 2 stories from a downtown apartment building just before 2 o'clock this morning. Police say she was intoxicated when she fell. They also say she was transported to the hospital, but they could not tell us the extent of her injuries.
Missouri's final tab has been totaled from a disastrous 2011, which included this EF5 Joplin tornado and widespread flooding. The figure comes out to about $36 million less than what Governor Nixon expected. That amount is merely a quarter of the $150 million Nixon set aside for disaster aid in 2011. Legislative budget leaders say the money Nixon set aside was unnecessary budget manipulation. Governor Nixon vetoed legislation that would included naming part of I-70 Graham's Picnic Rock Highway. The name refers to the late Dr. Robert Graham, who owned the farm where the large rock is located. The rock can be seen on I-70 halfway between Columbia and St. Louis. Nixon vetoed the legislation because the rock also has been called Slave Rock due to a belief that slave auctions occurred at that site.
Missouri drivers fear new construction plans could cause a traffic headache in Boone County. The Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission approved $58 million for state road construction projects. MoDOT plans to resurface several state roads, including Highway 63 and Providence Road in our area. It also plans to rebuild the Interstate 70 bridge over Business Loop 70. The money for the projects comes from a fuel tax. The project with the largest potential impact is the rebuild of the I-70 bridge over Business Loop 70. MoDOT engineers say the construction of that bridge could take about a year, and it will cost about $9.8 million. Missouri drivers are concerned because they say I-70 already gets congested with all the trucks and travelers. A year-round construction project could make the traffic delays worse.
This area at 5 o'clock is already congested. I mean, you'll sit here for 20 minutes just waiting to get out of this parking lot. So with that being said, I personally will avoid this area at all costs.
MoDOT engineers couldn't give us a start date for the project, but construction plans should be approved by 2014. That means crews could begin working as early as 2015.
Columbia students might soon be able to access the internet on their way to and from school.
KOMU 8's Joe Prozik is live at Rockbridge High School to tell us why CPS wants to put Wi-Fi on its buses.
Students at Rockbridge may soon be able to walk out of class, but Joe Prozik, KOMU 8 News.
Speaking of buses, Kansas City is going green, trying to convert its public buses to natural gas. The KC Transit put 2 new natural gas-powered buses on the road. The city will replace all 300 diesel buses during the next 12 to 14 years. While a natural gas bus costs $40,000 more, the switch will save the city about $100,000.
Lots of people won't be too happy about this. Gas prices are expected to go up over the next few weeks. Prices are expected to spike between 10 and 30 cents a gallon more. Recent tensions in Egypt, a rise in crude oil prices, and a decline in oil inventory are some of the reasons why prices are expected to rise. NBC reports the national average gas price is $3.51 a gallon. Columbia's average is below that, with an average of $3.29. One local driver tells us the news predicted it will hurt his lawn mowing business.
In my business, it actually devastates us because right now with all the heat and the gas prices going up, it actually cuts into our profits.
To find the lowest gas prices in mid-Missouri, you can go to our website, KOMU.com.
Moments ago, Mizzou football season tickets went on sale online. Fans can order tickets via phone. And at the Mizzou Arena ticket office tomorrow, the Mizzou Athletic Department expects to sell out many games fast as it did last year. Associate Athletic Director Andrew Grinch says 90% of the 2012 season ticket holders renewed their tickets for this year. The move to the SEC provided a big boost in sales. This year, new construction could impact seating for some fans.
This year it shouldn't have as much of an effect. The biggest change in seating is going to be on the hill, which we traditionally do not sell as a season ticket. Because of the adjustments made there, we lost some square footage, so there'll be a little fewer seats available on the hill.
Individual game tickets go on sale to the general public July 26th. To view the football schedule and more information on how to get tickets, go to our website, KOMU.com.
A Chillicothe woman may have to forfeit her 4 homes, 10 vehicles, and 3 ATVs as she faces accusations in an embezzlement scheme. 60-year-old Donna Presler faces 20 counts of wire fraud and money laundering. The indictment says she embezzled that money while working as a payroll manager for 6 years, costing a construction company nearly $4 million. And in Columbia, a woman pleaded guilty to embezzling nearly $500,000 from her company. 48-year-old Terry Lynn Johnson pleaded guilty to charges of bank fraud and money laundering. Johnson is accused of using the money to refinance her mortgage twice. She's also accused of writing checks to herself. She could face up to 40 years in prison without parole.
A 4-month undercover crackdown on violent crime in the St. Louis area resulted in charges against nearly 160 people. Authorities seized more than 260 guns. They also confiscated drugs, including marijuana and cocaine. Prosecutors say 78% of those charged are previously convicted felons.
On a brighter note, lots of sunshine and less humidity today.
Let's send it over to Dave for a check of the forecast.
Thanks, guys. Pretty comfortable out there today. Coming up on KOMU 8 News at 6.
Flooding still lingers on the East Coast, and that's not all. Find out what else Mother Nature stirred up.
Plus, fun for the kids, good for their health. They're connecting with nature.
Well, good evening to you. The National Weather Service confirms that a tornado touched down in New Beaver Township, Pennsylvania today, bringing flooding, massive damage to the area. Experts believe the tornado was accompanied by winds as high as 90 miles an hour. The storm brought down trees, power lines, and caused flooding. There have been no fatalities or serious injuries reported. Take a look at live Doppler 8 first alert radar. Eclipsed that 90-degree area, at least as far as we can see.
Looks fantastic.
You've backed those down a little bit in the past 24
yes,
hours.
Yes, it does.
All right, Dave, thank you. The Missouri Department of Conservation wants to keep kids from developing what a nationally known author calls nature deficit disorder. Richard Louv links increased rates of obesity, ADD, and depression in kids to a disconnect from nature. While their parents learned about the importance of the great outdoors, kids got creative in the mud this morning at the Runge Nature Center in Jefferson City. One little girl used the opportunity to come up with a recipe for mud coffee.
Historic highs at the Food Bank's Central Pantry. Find out how you can help coming up.
The Food Bank's Central Pantry serves Boone County, and it's busier than ever.
KOMU 8's Rachel Whittle takes a look at why that is and what you can do to help.
Tanya Martin's work keeps Rachel Whittle, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.
That hunger-free summer program begins on Saturday.
The Royals wrapped up their 4-game series in New York City today. A Yankee legend returned to the field. Sports is next.
Hello, everyone. The Royals and Yankees played the final game of their series at Sports.
Thanks, Chris. Some kids look forward to getting a car when they turn 16.
But this toddler is ahead of the game. Okay, take a look at this story. A 14-month-old girl in Portland used her daddy's smartphone to buy herself a sports car. She got the phone, opened up the eBay app, and somehow bid $202 on a 1962 Austin Healey. The seller offered to let her off the hook when he found out that she was only 14 months old. But the dad paid for the rusty car that, by the way, doesn't start, and has plans to fix it with his little girl over the next 14 years.
You know that's the car she's going to get when she turns 16.
Absolutely.
Clear sky. Looks really good.
You know what starts a week from tomorrow?
Show Me State Games?
Show Me State Games right here in Columbia. And notoriously, The
It's
heat.
steaming hot. Well,
It looks good.